Sebastian, you want to give me a kiss? Oh, my sweet boy. I love you. We're going to tell another story? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Welcome back to another Sebastian story. I'm here with my sweet boy, Sebastian. He's growing up. He's doing great. As you can see, he's getting a lot bigger. It has not stopped. I don't think it ever will. Sebastian has been very busy with a lot of travel and a lot of training lately. As he keeps growing, we've got to make sure he stays obedient, or as much as I can keep him obedient. That's still a work in progress, of course. But he's a sweet boy, and make sure get him out in public and when we can, and everybody loves him. He stops people in their tracks, and they just come running to me. Who is that? I've got to meet him, and he just eats it up. I mean, not literally, of course, haha, but he's just a sweet boy, and I think everybody can see that in him. With training, it's still been a lot about consistency and making sure that he understands his commands. And oh my gosh, it's so funny just sitting here looking next to him. I'm used to looking down a little bit, but he's a little bit above my eye line at this point. He just keeps growing, and I don't know when it's going to stop. He's just such a sweet boy. But with his training, it's been a lot of making sure he understands the basics of sit and shake. It's been difficult because although I made sure, he's learned all of his neighbors and all of the neighbor dogs, and he loves everybody, and as soon as he sees anyone, he wants to go running to them. And if he's off leash, he does. And we're still working on that. Thankfully, everybody is very, very friendly, and, everybody in our cul-de-sac has a dog, so it works out. But it's just hilarious. He sees anybody, he's like, oh, it's my family, I gotta go see him. He goes running up to him and wants to hug and kiss, and so we're still working through the training, keeping things consistent, making sure he understands that when we say come, we mean come, and it's been a balance of he wants to be off the leash and be able to run, and I very much understand and respect that. But when he's not always obedient and able to listen to his instructions, and that's when he's got to go back on the leash. And so he's been starting to put it together that it's like, okay, if Dad says come and he means it, I got to listen, because otherwise I got to go back on a leash. And of course, what dog wants to be on a leash? Still, of course, more times than not, walking him around the property with his leash on, reinforcing the boundaries, reminding him where his yard is and to stay in his yard. We've been doing a lot of travel. Sebastian has officially become a road tripping pappy. We made sure all three of us were buckled in, Pappy included, of course, as he always is with his car harness. It's good. He was pretty calm that morning, and eventually kind of started getting a little more drowsy and a little bit more comfortable, and decided it was time to take a nap. Put a sheet down to try and contain some of the Pappy furs that flies around, and we broke the drive up into 2 days, so to make it a little bit easier on poor Sebastian. Again, he just wanted to go and lay out in the grass. He watched the traffic for a little while. So we stopped at La Quinta. Apparently is very dog friendly, and so we decided to test that out. So we got up there, and we got inside, and he was so happy to see a nice big bed to lay in. That was definitely the best part of his day. He made himself right at home and got comfortable, and we gave him a little wet wipe bath, and he absolutely loved that. Got everybody all cleaned up and snuggled in bed, and he went on to his watchdog routine. He found there was a little bit of light coming in from underneath the door, so I had to go throw a towel underneath there, because anything that happened outside that door concerned him. So, but I think the big key and the most important thing that happened from this road trip is that he came home. And he finally realized that, and I think that was a real big turning point. Again, Sebastian's a rescue. He's been shuttled around. He was obviously mistreated because of his paw being injured. So we don't exactly know what his history was, but it clearly made a big difference for him when he went home. He actually got home, and he felt it, and he knew it, and he had a big ball to play with, and I just threw him out of the car, and he was like, wait, this is my home, I'm here, and he just tore off around the whole yard. He had such a great time. As always, thank you so very much for watching. We're having a great time telling these stories, and this guy just keeps getting bigger, and I don't know if that means our stories need to get bigger or what, but he just won't stop. But can't fault him for that. Let him keep growing up, and we'll keep telling our stories. Thank you so much.